Welcome to my lecture online. Again, to get a better feel, a better understanding of what tensors are, let's have them represented as matrices, and of course that makes it a little bit easier. Here we have a tensor of rank 1, which is called a scalar, and of course we only have one component. Here we have a tensor of rank 1, which is also called a vector, and therefore we have three components, a1, a2, a3, which represent the three directions, x, y, and z, or expressed in mathematics, I, j, and k. And then we have the dyad. The dyad has 9 components. So remember, for each direction, x, y, and z, we have another vector, in essence, representing three directions, x, y, and z. So we have x, y, and z direction here, and then three components describing the phenomenon that happens in each of the three directions, x, y, and z. And that phenomenon is also expressed as a vector with three components in the x, the y, and the z direction. And then we have a triad. A triad has 27 components. So here we have the direction x, y, and z, which then has three components, x, y, and z, at each of the three directions, and each one of those then has a component in the x, y, and z direction, so to speak. So we have multiple directions for the x, y, and z initial direction. That makes it kind of complicated, but at least we'll show you some examples how to do that. What is really important at this point is realizing how the subscripts work. When we go from top to bottom, in the first number in the subscript, we have 1, 2, 3 going from top to bottom. Then for the second number, we go from left to right, 1, 2, 3. And for the third number, we go from front to back, 1, 2, and 3. Once you get that straight, then it's easier to represent it as we just did. It's very easy to get confused, but you can see that the first number goes from top to bottom, the second number goes from left to right, and the third number goes from front to back. And so if you can get that straight at the beginning, then it's a lot easier to draw out what a 27 component triad looks like. For a dyad, it's simply from top to bottom, which is x, y, z, and then each of the x, y, z directions has a component or has three components describing what happens at that particular direction. And then, of course, for a vector, we're simply used to that, x, y, and z. For a scalar, you just have one single component. So now at least you see how the matrix representation makes it a little bit easier to work with the various types of tensors, from rank 0 to rank 3. We won't bother with rank 4 because it gets very complicated until perhaps some later time. But at least we'll show you some good practical examples, especially for the dyad, because it has a lot of practical examples and practical uses. That's how we do that.